What up, what up, what up? Howdy y'all. Back at it. Been a little while. Didn't post a video this week. That's pretty unusual. Been pretty consistent since I started the channel. Talked about it a little as to why in my Discord. Just haven't been playing Magic that much. Haven't really come up with any new ideas lately. But that's just how it goes sometimes. I have a couple ideas in the works here, but nothing super fleshed out enough to feel like I am ready to send them to a video, right? But today, gonna be working on some Sultai Deserts. I'm pretty locked in to play Sultai Deserts for the upcoming RC Cincinnati. I haven't really been, like I said, playing too much, but I feel like if I'm gonna play a Deserts deck, I'm the most confident with something like this. Share my screen here pretty quickly. What up, Mr. Lucky? It is for those that have not seen Sultai Deserts or haven't seen it in a little while, give a quick rundown. The gist is we're built around Outcaster Greenblade, a 3-drop 1/2 that gets 1/1 for each desert you control. Enter, search your library for a basic land or desert card, reveal it, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Super solid card. Pretty good to cast on turn 3, but gets even better the later the game goes. The deserts, of course, being these dual lands that enter tapped and deal 1 damage to target opponent. Otherwise, we also have a playset of Conduit Pylons, which is colorless land that can filter into other colors. Enters a Surveil 1, untapped, importantly. Several Restless Cottages, a Sandstorm Verge, so on and so forth. I actually think the list I'm going to be playing looks a little different than this. I think I like the idea of a couple main deck Ghost Vacuums these days. I think it's pretty good into the Izzet spell, like cares about spells lists, and good enough into mono green in the main that it doesn't hinder you completely. I think I would actually do something like this. It also just synergizes generally very nicely with our other main desert effect, being Free Strider Lookout, really. The payoff for having these lands that enter and target your opponent. And also this card just gets out of hand super quickly. Plays very nicely with Ghost Vacuum, allowing you to activate or trigger Free Strider Lookout the turn it's played and on future turns consistently. Very, very nice little combination. I think it's worth having in the main deck. Otherwise, it's a pretty straightforward, like mid-rangey deck with a pretty big top end. Still not positive on Spinewoods Armadillo. 26 lands. I think Professor Delianfell is a pretty great addition to this list. Oko. I'm going to have to see what the meta is looking like. We did have the recent Pro Tour event, and it was quite a lot of Izzet of various shapes and sizes and Selesnya Landfall. And I think we could have a pretty good matchup into Izzet lists if we wanted to, like game 1 especially. The Landfall decks are going to be a little tougher because their ability to like just present threat after threat is very high. Alongside Sapling Nursery from the sideboard is a pretty big problem. So not really sure. I'll spend some time thinking about that. And concluding how I want to position the main and the sideboard prior to, I guess that's what this stream is kind of for, right? Thinking about those matchups a little more carefully. But as for now, this is pretty much what the main deck is going to look like, I think. I like the playset of Requiting Hex. I like the playset of Bitter Triumph. I like the Esper Origins as all cheap like ways to set up our, like, first off, interact with our opponents, like Slick Shot Show-Offs and cheaper aggressive creatures for sure. Esper Origins gives us something to do on 2 proactively, but ideally we're like, you know, we're not always going to have the luxury of untapped mana in our early turns. So oftentimes, like, turns 1 and 2 will be play a tapped land turn 1, play a tapped land turn 2, Requiting Hex something, and then untapped mana on turn 3 to play a 3-drop. So casting Esper Origins on turn 2, not super necessary. I'm also not sure, should we be on 2 Deadly Cover-Ups or 3? It's not that good into Izzet. What's up, Devin? Appreciate you stopping by. It's not that good into Izzet, but it is pretty good into like the landfall lists, and generally it's not like there's no real bad matchup where like Deadly Cover-Up has its uses kind of in every matchup, even matchups where your opponent's really not on creatures because of its collect evidence effect. Can come in handy to like take all of the Ugins out of your opponent's list if you manage to get lucky doing that. For example, not that Ugin's like a huge threat in the meta generally, but just speaking as to an example of like a matchup where, or like all the Delian Fells out of your opponent's deck, right? That's pretty relevant. Otherwise I like the list. Maybe the Armadillos could be something a little more impactful. But they are pretty good into the aggressive matchups, allowing us to consistently get untapped mana on turn 3 while gaining us a little life cushion. As for the sideboard, this is what I'm rocking right now. Some Duresses, some Disdainful Strokes, a couple extra removal in the form of Desert's Dew. Cares about Desert's removal. Kills anything pretty much, although struggles with like efficient late game creatures, or like creatures that can be big early. Mossborn Hydra, Sunderflock, so on and so forth, if they manage to do like a turn 3 uncontested Mossborn Hydra with fetches, and I happen to be tapped out, Desert Stew might not be able to manage that, for example. Couple Cease Desist. I think I like this card, especially with the uptick in like the presence of first off, it's generically pretty good against decks that care about their graveyard. Being able to remove 2 cards, gain 2 life, and cycle it, basically. And hold it up at instant speed is all pretty good, I think. But also the desist side comes into play into matches like the Golgari mid-range lists that play Unholy Annex and Furdot Core. Actually having like a late game tool to be able to manage multiple types of those threats is, I think, kind of relevant sometimes. Plus, on the off chance that you run into like the United Battlefront lists, United Battlefront, the artifact lists. There's the other United Front, United Battlefront. Yeah, the United Battlefront lists. You'll be pretty happy to have this kind of effect in your deck, I think. But it's just generically pretty good, I think, overall. Maybe it's a bit of a pet card of mine, and I have a hard time evaluating whether this is really good. I'm not really sure. I like a couple Siracs as additional ways to like uncontestable ways that a card that almost always is going to 2-for-1 your opponent, and you can tap out for this pretty freely on turn 3 into counter magic, so on and so forth. If your opponent happens to be playing like Strategic Betrayal, it's weirdly good into our list, but it's not that common of a card right now. An extra Oko, an Unagi of Kyoshi Island, and a Deceit all in the sideboard. Just extra options to shore up our threats into grindier matchups, but also give us a little bit of extra interaction in the form of Deceit. Kind of a general all-around good card into slower matchups. So that's kind of what I'm rocking right now. Let's hop into some... First off, I'm going to hop into some ranked matches, I think. Just because I think ranked is going to probably bear more relevant, like... Probably going to be full of more meta lists compared to the traditional standard events. But if I'm feeling good with the list, maybe I'll hop into a standard event as well. Currently just in Plat. A week into this new ranked month. Like I said, have really not been playing. Just been up to some other stuff. Where my wife and I are planning on going back to Japan at the end of the year. So I'm getting back into studying Japanese. Is one thing, plus with the weather like getting warmer here in Michigan, more time is being sort of devoted to like outdoor house stuff going on. And beyond all of that, just finding myself interested in other stuff in the meantime. Not to say I'm done with this, YouTube thing completely or anything. Let's leave an untapped source on top here. I know we already have lands, but I think we'll want to tap out for either the Esper Origins or Oko on turn 3 here, or turn 4. Opponent goes flow state stock up in some kind of Sultai list. You know, at the end of the day, I do this YouTube thing just for fun. Just as a thing to pass the time, right? So allowing myself that freedom to just come and go, I think is one of the ways I'm going to be able to stay sane and maintain some amount of longevity through all of this. So opponent goes for a Might Form Harmonizer. Wait. Am I dead? 4-color Harmonizer combo? Wow, I really didn't expect that. It's funny because I could have held up removal, but who's going to expect 4-color Harmonizer combo out of nowhere? Okay, good to know. Let's bring in the Disdainful Stroke. Seems pretty good here. Bring in some extra instant speed interaction. Let's go down our Requiting Hexes. Probably not too relevant here. I think a Ghost Vacuum is not going to be bad. You might even make an argument. I think Deceit is definitely good. You might make an argument for Duress, although their main like points of concern are creature-based, even though a typical like the typical Teamer Harmonizer lists are very non-creature heavy. So I think it's probably worth including the Duresses here, just at the very least to garner some information. It's almost always going to hit something, right? As for what to cut, I think we can go down the Maelstrom Pulses. Having the instant speed interaction really is the key. Deadly Cover-Up is probably not good enough. It might be okay. We'll get a little more information about what their build is like this game. And I definitely think we want the Unagi, just being able to have like a threat that we can hold up removal with alongside, you know? Maybe go down a Spinewoods Armadillo in this case, since our life total is not super relevant. It did just go out of nowhere. It's weird. I don't know if this is like a new list that's coming out, or this Grill Apotheosis is just doing their own thing. Just found it very strange that they happen to be in Sultai, like presenting Sultai, and then suddenly, boom, Teamer Harmonizer, you know? No instant speed interaction. I think I'm going to keep it. The curve out's pretty decent for us here. We may be able to Esper Origins into removal. Maybe it's a little greedy. Let's go... I think I'm going to go for the Esper Origins turn 2 here. Try to hit removal, and then I can always Armadillo for a turn 4 untapped source. Surveil both of these away. Oh, hey, Aqua Animus. Appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for coming along. Petrified Hamlet. When this land enters, choose a land card name. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Lands with the chosen name have tap, add colorless. Hilson says, Delian Fel has been a bit of a surprise, no? How much play it is seeing in different decks. I pre-ordered them when they were $8. I wasn't that surprised. I don't know. I think the abilities at face value, Hilson, are kind of weak, but the fact that it enters with 5 loyalty and rolls up to... You can effectively have it start at 7 against, like, aggro decks, right? And this is threatening to gain you life every turn, or draw cards every turn. It's good in every matchup, right? Plus, it also has this ultimate, which can be relevant. I think it's pretty good. It's just solid, right? It's not doing anything particularly flashy, but it's pretty solid. Let's go for a Ghost Vacuum here since we drew an island. Just play out our tapped lands. We can manage their Fabled Passages and Flow States. They have a Surak. That's fine. I guess just cross our fingers that they don't kill me out of nowhere. I'm not really thrilled about the idea of giving them a card with my Delian Fel here, so I think I'm just going to go for the Esper Origins. I'm going to tap out. If they have it, they have it. I don't think I can get too cute here. Do we want to draw a Green Blade? I think so. If you got it, you got it. Cast a stock up. I think this is a card. I think Delian Fell definitely is a card that this type of list was missing. Just giving you an alternate type of threat. You know, it's one of the reasons like Unholy Annex is good, is because it's an enchantment in what otherwise is like a creature sort of strategy. Generally is how that gets played. Just giving you sort of threat diversity. Let's keep our Esper Modeling around for the extra mana here. Start activating our Ghost Vacuum. Opponent casts a stock up but misses a land drop. So I'd say we're feeling pretty good. Let's go ahead and get the Delian Fell going, I think. Actually, we can go Green Blade and Delian Fell here if we grab an untapped source. And I think I'm just going to start Free Starter to look at on top. Do we want that? I think so. I think I'm going to maybe roll up Delian Fell here to... Oh, no, they just scoop. Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay, great. Well, feeling pretty good about my sideboarding here. Other than maybe having to worry about Surak a little bit. I'm not that worried about Surak. Let's just run it back like this, I think. I think I'm supposed to maybe just start drawing cards there. Try to hit instant speed interaction to really lock the game out. I'm winning on board. Pretty unlikely that they'll be able to contest me on board at that point. Keep this. Double Bitter Triumph. Triple Bitter Triumph. Lean on the pylons. I think Duress is worth keeping, probably. Gives us something to do on 2 proactively, and then it may open up the window for us to like proactively Green Blade. We could also just fire off the Esper Origins this turn. No, I think I like the Duress. Because we can just discard an Esper Origins to the Bitter Triumph, right? Leatherhead, 2 lands, stock up, shoot the Sheriff. Shoot the Sheriff is bad against us. We have a lot of outlaws. Snakeskin Veil is a little annoying, but they don't currently have the Harmonizer. I think I just take the stock up here, right? Not much I'm going to be able to do about Leatherhead, to be honest, though. Except contest Leatherhead with a bigger creature than they have, I guess, because they're not really going to be able to deal with my Green Blade very effectively. Let's just get another untapped desert. No, we should probably get a blue source, huh? Blue-black? Okay. I think that's okay. Devin Fuller asks, curious if you bling out your lists in paper or if you just go with standard printing. I bought a bunch of the Japanese mystical archives. Ooh. No, I'm not that blinged. I tend to just buy whatever's cheapest. Can't deal with the Leatherhead anytime soon. I guess I could ping them here and start swinging. I actually think I like that best. Get ahead on the aggro side of things. We'll skip on this, both of these. We don't need those. We have enough Bitter Triumphs. So outside of getting comboed, we're winning this race. They find a Bitter Triumph, kind of importantly. Okay. They hit me for 5. Yeah, I mean, currently some kind of sack effect could be good. But I'm feeling kind of okay. They can shoot the Sheriff my Esper Origins, but then I have another one on the following turn. So I'm not feeling too bad about tapping out for this. What up, Jay Sather? Appreciate you stopping by. Howdy, y'all. Howdy, y'all. Let's double skip on lands. We draw into a Deceit. That's pretty good. Go for a Conduit Pylons. We have a lot of colorless mana, so we're not going to be able to fully benefit from a deceit, but we can at least double black to snipe a card out of their hand. They go for the shoot the sheriff, down to 2 cards, hitting me with a pretty big guy, but not gonna like single-handedly win them the game, I think. Petrified Hamlet naming Bossing Say. No Bossing Says here. Let's just hardcast this Deceit. It'll be big enough to contest their Leatherhead, possibly snipe something. They Essence Scatter. That's kind of annoying. Hits me with the Leatherhead. Duress. I think I just have to fully cast this Esper Origins here, right? As much as I wouldn't mind duressing... Ooh, double Green Blade. Okay. As much as I wouldn't mind casting... They have a Spell Pierce for my... Okay. That's fine. They're going to get hit with Green Blade after Green Blade here. Well, I guess just one, because I'm going to be searching for... I have to search for a land. They hit a Flow State? That's pretty good. That's pretty good. These Bitter Triumphs look a little silly right now. I guess I'll start with a Duress here. See what they have going on. Full Bore, Analyze the Pollen. Do I just take the Snakeskin Veil? Or do I take the Full Bore? I think I'm okay with them cracking the Analyze the Pollen because I have triple Bitter Triumph. The problem with Full Bore is they can use it as a combat trick to beat one of my Green Blades. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 6, 7. Maybe I'd take the Full Bore. I think that's okay. And try to beat him with a Green Blade here. Depot says Veil, but they don't. This already has Hexproof. I think I'm just going to keep pinging them with my lands here. Throw the Green Blade. Get them into a position where they die to another ping land. Yeah, I'm not sure on this card. It's a colorless land that might just not do anything, which is a little bit of a rough spot to be, I feel like. Like, if your opponent just happens to be on mono red, then, like, what is this really even doing? Probably nothing. Analyze the Pollen. Okay. Harmonizer, but do they have a land drop? They do have a land drop. Doubling up the Leatherhead here. They might go for the count. Oh, they don't have mana to cast a Snakeskin Veil here. Okay, well, I mean, I really have no choice but to block. So we can kind of go to parity here. Do I pay 3 life? I might as well discard a card. Downward Springs. I'm gonna hold on to that in case I draw a Free Strider Lookout and maybe it hits. Oh, they top deck a stock up. Ugh. I'm gonna hold on to the Soured Springs. They top deck a stock up. Well, the nice thing is if they draw like a Might Form Harmonizer, they can't really like. Okay, they just hit triple green. Surak. Yeah, that's not ideal. Unagi of Kyoshi Island is kind of a nasty top deck for us. Let's just pass here. Bait them into attacking. And then if they go for the Snakeskin Veil, I can respond with a Bitter Triumph. Cross our fingers that they didn't top deck an Essence Scatter, I guess. They go for the Snakeskin Veil. I'm going to let them redraw here. But then I'm going to draw 2 cards off of the Surak, off my Unagi. But pay the life. I think I just discard this land in case something goes wrong here. So they're going to draw a card. I'm going to draw 2. Kind of a nice result for us there. They have a Strategic Betrayal. We've got a game on our hands. We've got a fucking game on our hands. Kind of crazy. Cast a Green Blade. It's big enough to one-shot them here. We have a ping, we have a Sandstorm Verge. Let's just grab a Surveil here. Try to shore up our next top deck. Free Strider Lookout, sure. What is your last card? Heritage Wreck to cycle. Okay. 2 cards in hand. Might form Harmonizer to chump with, but they don't know about that Sandstorm Verge. They don't know about the Sandstorm Verge. Cast a Free Strider Lookout. See if they care about this. Fire up the Sandstorm Verge. No more blocks, baby. 9-10. No more blocks, baby. It's a 9-10. Whoo, whoo. Wow, that turned out to be quite an interesting little game there. Quite an interesting little game. Devin Fuller asks, excited for the modern season? That's starting soon, right? Yeah, apparently an RCQ just fired at my shop the other day. Had like 30-something players. And then I went to go to modern on Wednesday. This Wednesday, because I was like, I haven't been to the store in a while. I got to go in person to play some Magic, some real Magic, you know? I shuffled up my dumb insect tribal deck. My really dumb insect modern tribal deck. And I was so excited to just like go 0-3 drop or whatever. And I was the only person there besides one other guy. It was just me and one other guy. So unfortunately did not fire. Maybe it was the nice weather. Maybe it was just the fact that an RCQ just happened, right? But yeah, I'm excited for modern. I'm crossing my fingers that it's just a stroke of bad luck and next week it'll fire. But that's what we got. Anyone else out there playing some modern these days? Match 2 on the ranked ladder. This hand's close if we get a green source. I guess I'll keep it. I'm just gonna lead on a tapped land. Maybe I'm supposed to lead on the pylons blind. Blooming Marsh, Llanowar Elves. Esper Origins. Okay, I might just get punished for this keep. Oh, never punished. Untapped green source turn 3. Is it modern deserts? No, it's bugs. It's bugs. I'll show you. I don't have like the deck list online or anything, but I will show you the cards in the deck in a second. I'll just grab it right now. Okay, so Ice Tail Explorer, insect, right? Grist, the Hunger Tide, insect, cares about insects specifically. It says, create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then mill a card. If an insect card was milled this way, put a loyalty counter on Grist and repeat the process, right? So you got your Springheart Nantukos, you got your Molt Tenders, you got your Genomorph Imagos. Surely we all remember Genomorph Imago. Showed up in the early like Sultai or Simic Ouroboros lists, right? Might form Harmonizer, of course. Mutable Explorer, insect that enters and makes a land. And that's kind of the gist of it. It's like a landfall insects list, capitalizing on the fact that you have Mightform, Harmonizer, and Ice Till are insects, and Grist cares about insects and all of that. Full playset of Fatal Push, full playset of Green Sun Zenith with a Dryad Arbor. And that's about it. Those are the non-insects other than the lands. So that's the list, folks. It's bugs. Anyway, opponent has a Badgermole Cub on the field. They took my Maelstrom Pulse. I guess we're kind of chilling on this. My best course of action probably is just to cycle the Armadillo. Guarantee I get an Oko on the field. I might just be dead to like an Ouroboros here. Is it good? Jay Sather, is my bugs good? Probably not. That's why I said I want a 0-3 drop, but who knows? It has the potential to do something like theoretically turn 2 Grist, right, into mill 3 insects and make 3 insects on turn 2, which is not that bad, even in Modern, I think. Been a while. The Professor, Delian Fell. He has arrived. He hath. I don't think I can win anymore unless I top deck removal for Delian Fell immediately. Threatening to ult like right away is pretty scary. Bitter Triumph. I mean, I do have a lot of good draws that settle this out. Cycle the Armadillo. Exile a land. Draw into another Conduit Pylons. Skip on a Sandstorm Verge. I think I just make an Elk here. Gives me something to pressure Delian Fell with. Gives me something to block their weenies with. It's not great. Like if they ult Delian here and just have the emblem online, I think ultimately they'll probably win that game, but we'll see. Soulstone Sanctuary. Fur.core, Core, not doing a whole lot here. Depot says, Azorius Flash feels really good on ladder right now for grinding. I'm a big fan of Azorius Flash. I've always found that strategy to be pretty fun. I'm a huge, it may not seem like it. I never play it in my videos, but I'm a huge Enduring Curiosity guy. I think that card is really good and strong and fun if you're the one casting it. They ultimate Delian Fell. They requiting Hex my Elk. They open up Oko to attack. Okay. Classically killing off Oko. But leaves behind 2 mana. Interesting. Last card is maybe removal. They ulted the Delian Fell, but they don't really have anything to show for it quite yet. Draw into a Free Strider Lookout. I can't really do anything with that quite yet. Oh, I mean, I guess okay. Yeah, definitely something to think about. With the addition of main deck Ghost Vacuums, I guess being on the Free Strider Lookouts, I'm somewhat disincentivized from just eating away their graveyard, just so I guarantee have material to eat with Free Strider Lookout. That's definitely something to be cognizant of. Just like, don't just randomly eat stuff if I don't need to, because I might top deck a Free Strider Lookout and they may have an empty graveyard. Good to be aware of. I think I want to... I guess I go like cycle the Armadillo and then grab a forest and play the Free Strider Lookout here. give myself the opportunity to kind of take multiple actions. And then next turn I can double Esper Origins. Not really out of the game because they're not really gaining life, you know, other than, I guess, they can gain 3 life every turn, but that doesn't really win them the game. Wastewood Verge. I mean, they should just start drawing cards still, even, right? Yeah, okay. It's nice for them to have the emblem online still, I think, but drawing a card every turn is just better than helixing me in the face every turn, I think. Earthbend's another land. Quite a lot of mana available. Only 1 card in hand, though. Mr. Lucky says, I see the Aang Aven Interrupter High Noon Trio on ladder. Yeah. It's been around for a long time, that Azorius Flash build. It's pretty solid. Another Delian Fell. Okay, this kind of makes sense, I guess. No cards in hand, though. I got to assume they're drawing a card again. No, they gain 3. They put material in their graveyard to allow me to commit a crime, which is nice. I kind of feel like they're not playing this the absolute best. I feel like they should just keep drawing cards. Set a Restless Cottage off of our Ghost Vacuum trigger, our crime trigger. Depot says the SOS Conductor Owl makes the deck even better, can double your airbands, or interrupts. Yeah, it's like kind of like a weird blue Resto Angel, right? It seems pretty good. We have a Restless Cottage online. We could start pressuring the Delian Fell here. It's probably better to just go... They can fire up the Soulstone Sanctuary. It's probably just better to double Esper Origins here. Deadly Cover-Up. Deadly Cover-Up's not bad. It doesn't really get us out of this bind. I think I'm going to skip on the Deadly Cover-Up. I think we need something like an Outcaster Greenblade or something. Just something meaningful to contribute to the board here. Or some sort of source, like a Delian Fell is pretty good, I think, actually. A source of meaningful card advantage. Play a Conduit Pylons, get an extra Surveil here. Skip on this land. Alright. Yeah, just pass it back. Not really willing to trade my Lookout in here, I think. Blocks pretty nicely. They could go for another Delian Fell ultimate. Another emblem. Which is fine, but once again, they don't really have a guaranteed way of gaining life necessarily, right? They destroy my Esper Modwin. Okay. That's fine. Llanowar Elves. Just a board full of garbage, basically. Can't really swing into me. Let's exile my Armadillo here. Draw into a Conduit Pylons. Well, I guess we'll play that first. Get a little extra information. Soured Springs, we'll skip on that. I think I'm drawing cards with Delian, right? I can't also activate the Restless Cottage if I do this. And they can start threatening my Delian Fell pretty quickly. But it kind of forces some action, I think. Maybe I redraw into something relevant. Drawn to a Meringue River Regent. Hey, I'd say that's pretty relevant. Pass it back. What up, Turd Gobbler? Turd Gobbler! Appreciate you stopping by, dude. Howdy, folks. Nice to see all of you. Been a hell of a week, huh? Destroy target creature on my lookout. Rude, dude. Okay. RAP and Peace Delian fell. But their Delian is now down to 1. And I've kind of opened myself up to several good draws off of this Meringue River region. Namely, like, I have a 1 of Withering Curse and a 1 of Deadly Cover-Up left after skipping on this one. Both of which would be pretty good right now. Killing off my Delian. RIP in peace. Doesn't swing with this Llanowar Elves. They maybe should have. Kind of surprised this Sanctuary is not online quite yet, but maybe they're trying to be cognizant of board wipes. Ghost Vacuum's a nice little value piece for us right now. Go ahead and coil and catch. Bonnie Paul, Outcaster Greenblade. Can I go for both of these? I believe I can if I go... No, I need double blue. So I think I put back this cottage, right? Free Strider Lookout. Alright, folks. It's Bonnie Paul Outcaster Greenblade. Match made in heaven. It's been a weird game. Fortunately for us, their Delian Fell's at 1 loyalty. And we're about to have 3 honker chonkers on the field. Bonnie Paul and Outcaster Greenblade, great targets for our Ghost Vacuum once they eventually get dealt with. They'll be naturally quite large. Grab a land. Pass it back. Hey, we suddenly just have a huge board. And we're at a comfortable 24 life. Feeling okay about that. Forest for our opponent. You gotta start drawing cards, man. Two cards in hand. We have Lookout plus Ghost Vacuum for extra lands. Enough mana to support a Restless Cottage activation. Emeritus doesn't matter with our main deck Ghost Vacuums here. Nothing to return. Six, 7, by the way. 17 mana available for the opponent, but it doesn't matter, apparently. Which is kind of nice. Continue to activate the Ghost Vacuum. Load this bad boy up. Get our flying 1/1 reach ward 1. Or ward 3. Okay. Definitely attacking. I think I'm just gonna go face. Do I send in Bonnie? Is kind of the question. Do I send in Bonnie? Play a Soured Springs. Bonnie draws me cards, is the thing. And they may just, like, block. I'm just gonna go face. They can start chumping for sure, but hey, it's Withering Curse. I get to start putting lands from my graveyard onto the battlefield too. Extra Restless Cottages. Okay. Shit, son. Have I gained life this turn? I don't think so. So Withering Curse is actually just kind of nasty right now. They chump Bow, but I get to keep the land from coming back. Is that worth doing? I don't think so, because they're going to get a Surveil, but I want to keep my Ghost Vacuum up to keep them from activating Emeritus, although they need 8 lands to be able to activate this, so maybe it is fine if I just do this. Keeps me from doing a crime on their turn, but I'll be okay. Hey, check this out. -2/-2? It's pretty good. RIP in peace to the real ones out there. To all you Cubs and all you Llanowar Elves. This one's for you. Some great top decks, yeah. I mean, that's the point of this deck, right? It's just all pretty good cards. It's all pretty good cards. It's just a matter of surviving. Matter of surviving. They go for a redraw. Depot says, would be funny if he could instant make me gain. Oh, to destroy the board. Okay, yeah. That'd be pretty interesting. Is there a way that you could really do that? Your opponent gains life. Swords to Plowshares? In response, Swords to Plowshares? Another Delian fell. Not looking too good here. They draw a card and lose a life. No, surely you kill the Bonnie Paul, right? They activate... Oh, they activate the regrowth. Okay, right. The first one's free. Okay, good to remember. First one's free. Hit him with a Lush Oasis. Grow the bow. Grow the green blade. Do a little damage to their face. Let's start firing up the manlands here. This might just be lethal. At the very least, I'm going to force some uncomfortable blocks. But I think this is lethal. And they scoop it up. Pretty good run. Pretty good run. Looked a little bleak in the beginning, perhaps. They had a lot of resources to work with, but no real impactful plays. They had Delian Fells, but never hit their, like, Unholy Annex combo situation. Bring in a couple Cease Assists, generally pretty good into this matchup, I think. And bring in our grindy cards, of course. I actually don't think this is a matchup where, like, hexing the Cub or hexing the Llanowar Elves early is that important, to be honest with you. Because they're not, like, hard casting a turn 3 Ouroboros that you eventually need to deal with. So you're not really... You're, like, slowing down their ability to develop quickly, but... I don't know. I'm not that convinced that this is like a you have to kill the elf slash cub kind of matchup. Doesn't really have that feel to it. I think Bitter Triumphs are obviously pretty good though. Very generically good. Disdainful Stroke's a little awkward because you want to be able to need to be able to manage their unholy annexes basically. And they can cast it as a 3-drop, which is a little rough. It's more so about having like access to Maelstrom Pulse or the Cease Assist here, or just getting ahead of them, I guess. If they go turn 2 Unholy Annex, I mean that's good obviously, but like Requiting Hex is just generically a pretty bad top deck. Overall, I don't know that it's worth keeping in the full set. As for what to cut, we can go down a couple Armadillos. We can go down a land because we're on the draw. We can... Deadly Cover-Up has its moments, but it's not like a perfect answer to what they're doing. And... I think I like everything else. 61 card special? No. Maybe we don't need both Deadly Cover-Ups at all. The thing is, like... The kind of hand that they keep and win with is like turn 2 Unholy Annex into like Verdot Core, right? And then just out card advantage us. Oh, they scoop. They just fully scoop. No, wait. Oh, I ran out of time. That never happens. I think I'm a pretty slow sideboarder when I'm doing these videos in general, but I don't think that's ever happened to me. Doesn't matter. But if they keep a hand that's like all removal, then I think I win those games. Is kind of what it boils down to. Because I just need to be able to survive to start casting my threats, of which I think mine are a little generically stronger. I have a little more like individual higher card quality, I think, than they do. Lead on a cottage here. Looking at turn 3 lookout. If they have the turn 2 Unholy Annex, I mean, it's very good. See, I don't actually care about the Keynote Curator too much. It's good to know that they're willing to bring this kind of thing in, though. It makes Requiting Hex look a little better. Corporate Orb, that's fine. Not very good against us. It's okay. It's fine. It doesn't stop Esper Modwin. It only stops, like, the Bonnie, the River Regent, kind of. It kind of stops some stuff, but it's not very good. Keen-Eyed Curator, huh? I mean, I guess I'm just gonna go for the Lookout. Nothing in their graveyard to immediately Ghost Vacuum, but I think worth getting this online. One card left for my opponent. And they just pass? Okay. So I think I just ping them, do a crime, and then do another crime on their turn. I fucking love Freeze Strider Lookout, man. Uncontested, it just goes crazy. Like, being ahead on mana is so important in this kind of matchup. Unholy Annex. Pretty good draw for them, but it might be too late. Kill off the Curator here. And this puts material in their graveyard for me to target with the Ghost Vacuum. Importantly. Also opens up the attack. My man lands. My Lookout, so on and so forth. Annex on the field, gonna start hurting them. 2 mana available for them. Could be Shoot the Sheriff in hand, possibly. Definitely something to be considerate of. Go ahead and cycle this Armadillo. I think it's worth just grabbing more ping lands at this point. Continue to pressure their life total this way. It does add up, especially when they're damaging themselves. And we draw into another Freeze Strider Lookout. I'm just gonna go for that rather than fire up the Cottage here. I could probably do this post-combat, but it doesn't seem like they really have anything. More Lookout is more good, I think. Extra pings. Bolt them in the face off of our Deserts alone this turn. Swing for 3. I think I get an opportunity to go for an Esper Origins front side now that they no longer have the Curator. Another Freeze Strider Lookout. I'm going to skip on both of these purely because I'm going to guaranteed trigger my crimes on their turn. So digging deeper to guarantee like land hits, I think, is the play. Shocks themselves. Are they just making a demon and holding back Llanowar Elves to chump with? Is that the idea? They tapped the Llanowar Elves. 1 mana available for Requiting Hex. Oh. So I can just take their demon off of blocks, and if I hit 2 ping lands, they die. Take their demon off of blocks with the Sandstorm Verge. And I have a ping land in hand, so they're just dead to this. I guess not outright, because they can Requiting Hex their elf, gain 2 life off of the Blight. Go for another ping. Hit another ping. Okay, so now they are officially dead. Now they are officially dead. Take them off of blocks here. Now you can gain 2 by blighting, but pinged them for 1,000,000 damage in that turn cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total damage with our lands alone. That's kind of a lot. It's kind of a lot. Connor asks, how has Secrets of Strixhaven looked for Sultai Deserts? I think pretty good. We're getting a lot of the same benefits that all of the generic, like, Golgari mid-range lists are getting. Namely, Professor Delianfell, I think, is sort of the best inclusion. During spoilers, I was kind of thinking Witherbloom Charm might have a place. I was kind of thinking Withering Curse had potential, and of course, Vicious Rivalry, all of which I've tested in previous iterations, but the only one that's really stuck, I think one of Withering Curse is pretty solid. Maybe you could play 2 across the 75, but like 1 in the main, 1 in the side. And then Delianfell is just really good. I think you could play up to, I think 4 is probably a little too much, but you could play 3. I'm currently on 2. I think I would personally, I like the diversity of like not going too deep on any one expensive legendary, just because it leads to some awkward situations that you can just avoid by having less of in your deck, you know. So I like it. I'm currently on 2 Professor Delianfells in the main and 1 Oko, whose name I don't really remember, but it's the Oko that no one knows. Oko the Ringleader, yes. Yeah. 1 Oko in the main, 1 in the side. It's a card that is, it's kind of like the opposite of Delianfell in a way. It's like, opposite's not the right way to put it. It's very similar to Delianfell, except it's where Delianfell is like generically good across matchups, but it's not crazy powerful in any one matchup. Oko is like really bad against creature decks, but really good if you resolve it into like grindy or control-y matchups. It can close out games surprisingly quickly with its passive, and the fact that it actually like adds to your board, like contributes to your board, whereas Delianfell doesn't. Delianfell helps you grind in control-y matchups, but Oko actually helps you like win the game. Like making a 3/3 elk every turn is a pretty big deal, and also it's a passive ability to like actually like play an Oko, the next turn play a Green Blade, copy the Green Blade with the Oko, and swing with like a 5/6 on turn 4 or whatever. Can lead to some pretty fast wins for this list. Yeah, I think I like this list. I like the addition of a couple Ghost Vacuums in the main. I think it's just a really generically good, strong, grindy card. Let's keep it rolling. Couple nice wins to start off the stream. Might hop into a traditional standard event if people feel like that's a fun direction to take this. Feeling pretty good about this list. It's fun at the very least. I don't really expect to win RC Cincy or whatever, but I'm gonna try to show up, have a good time. It's my first time going to an out-of-state Magic tournament. I'm going by myself, but I might run into people I know there. I have family in Cincinnati, so I'm gonna try to see them while I'm there to make it a little less one-dimensional trip. You know, try to get some fam time in there as well. Intimidation tactics. Well, they get to pick an Outcaster Greenblade here. Draw an untapped source. Be able to cast one on turn 3 is pretty good. Tapped. We draw our 4th Outcaster Greenblade. Okay. I mean, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think we just grab a ping land here. We have double green. Let's get double blue online. Doesn't really matter what we choose, but I think we can afford to go for a ping land. Let's see your Outcaster Greenblades. JRB321. Burdock Core. Fine. Requiting Hex. Can I interest you in a second? Greenblade. Let's grab a Conduit Pylons with this one. Love me some Outcaster Greenblade. Excited to surprise some people at the RC at the very least. Maybe I'll be able to take some wins. Keen-Eyed Curator, generically kind of good against us. Mosswood Dread Knight, okay. Well, fortunately, I do have this Requiting Hex in hand. Let's just go ahead and manage the Curator here. Play a Festering Gulch. Swing in for a Bajillion. They probably don't have a board wipe in the main, right? They block with the Dread Knight. Maybe they do. Okay, I'm just gonna go for the Esper Origins here, play around a possible Deadly Cover-Up. I'm gonna skip a Deadly Cover-Up of my own, but I will keep the Bitter Triumph on top. They replay the Dread Knight for chumps, but they just die if they do that. Missing their land drops really is the kind of death knell here for them. Possibly also having Shoot the Sheriff in their deck is certainly possible. Pretty good game one for us. I have kind of a sense of what their deck list looks like. Probably pretty similar to what we just played against, although maybe a little lower curving. Let's keep the hexes in this time, with the inclusion of the Mosswood Dread Knights, I think. A little more important to deal with those than elves and whatnot, I feel like. And maybe we can go down one. Let's go up. Deceit as a generic answer to, like, Unholy Annex. Let's go up the Unagi. I think we'll go one Cease Desist this time. I mean, they're definitely on. We saw a Furdok Core, right? They're definitely on Unholy Annexes. Yeah, let's go up both the Cease Desists. Do we want Oko? I think so. Maybe we go down a Deadly Cover-Up. Maybe we go down both Deadly Cover-Ups and up a Requiting Hex. Hex is a pretty good way to, like, protect our Planeswalkers from the Dread Knights, so on and so forth. Do we want the Surax here? I'm gonna assume this build is on some amount of, like, strategic betrayal or what have you, so maybe we'll skip on the Surax this time. The triple Esper Origins hand this time. Kind of funny if I keep this. I'm not going to. Maybe you do. I mean, they showed me that they were playing Intimidation Tactics, right? It'd be pretty funny if they did go for, like, a turn 1 Intimidation Tactics, and I mean, the thing is, like, if I hit my land drops, this is a crazy hand, right? If they go for turn 1 Intimidation Tactics, I'm feeling pretty silly at the very least. I think it's worth keeping just for that possibility. Okay. Gotcha with the old switcheroo. Now we just need to hit a land drop. Second land and we're kind of in business. Second land and we're in business. Okay, Duress, fair enough, but Duress also not that good here. Takes my Oko. Pass it to ya. Tuck in for this. Cross our fingers. They also kept a land light hand, it seems. Maybe? Or are they just faking me out? No. Don't Unholy Annex me, bro. Oh. Okay, that's pretty scary. Alright. Fair enough. Fair enough. Punished for my own... I don't know. I just was so tempted for that possibility. And at the very least, we got to see it happen, but... fair enough. My own hubris. Emeritus of Abundance. Online. Okay, well... Guilty. Guilty, folks. Guilty for that one. My bad. My bad. On to match, or game 3 here. We get to play. Bring a land back in. We get to play. Let's go down a hex. Go down 2 hexes and the Withering Curse. And Maybe we think about duress here, just as another way to manage early unholy annexes. That's actually probably pretty good. Go down 1 cease. I think I like that. Be a little more proactive. Anyone going to F&M tonight? Any F&M goers in the chat? I'm sleeving up, you guessed it, Sultai Deserts for tonight. Excited. Been a while. It's been so last time I played at the shop was the Secrets of Strixhaven pre-release, and I can't even remember. I don't even remember when that was, really, to be honest. But it's been a lot of like after the pre-release was draft, and then I just couldn't go the next week because timing worked out bad, and then it's just been a while. It's been a minute. Excited to get back though. Wait. Oh, okay. For some reason, for a second, I thought I gave them the play. Once again, Intimidation Tactics, a dead card. Pretty nice for us. I mean, I wouldn't keep this in against us. I don't know why they still have it in their list. Hit them with the duress. Let's take the Strategic Betrayal. Sort of the most generically annoying thing they can be doing against us. Question is, do they jam turn 2 Dread Knight, or do they go for the card advantage angle? I think they should probably draw, right? Yeah. But we draw a green blade. Kind of nice. I think I like that. Force them to go for a Bitter Triumph here. We have double black. Let's get double blue. It does come up sometimes. Double green as well. No real double green in the list other than like the armadillos at the top end. But I believe we cut those here on the draw. Or in our post-board games. Duress takes my Bitter Triumph. Interesting. Makes sense. Doesn't want to throw the Esper Origins in the graveyard. We're on to a Cease Desist. That's not bad. Go for the Conduit Pylons. Let's skip on a Duress. Start surveilling with the Esper Origins here. Skip on lands. Pass it back. Tapped Overgrown Tomb, Emeritus of Abundance on the field, but we can manage that with our Cease Desist, which is nice. Maybe I just proactively fire this off so I can tap out for an Esper Origins next turn. Just clean up the Betrayal and the Triumph here. I actually think that's probably right. Ghost Vacuum is really nice. Huh. I think I'm just supposed to go for this. Let's skip on the Blooming Marsh. We'll keep a Free Strider to look at around. Worst case scenario, weirdly, is like they duress my Ghost Vacuum, right? But they're actually just more likely to pick up the Intimidation Tactics. And oh, I guess they can Intimidation Tactics my Ghost Vacuum, right? Yeah, maybe I should have just played the Ghost Vacuum that turn. Waited on the Esper Moduin. I don't know. I mean, they can't take both of these things, right? And if they spend their whole turn tacticsing one of my cards, it's like they're not adding to their board really at all. I guess they could also play a Mosswood Dread Knight on top of that. They go for regrowth on the tactics. They fire off the tactics. The tic-tacs, if you will. They take the Ghost Vacuum, makes sense to me. Plays a Mosswood Dread Knight for surezies, right? Witherbloom Charm on my Esper Moduin. Okay. They're not going to be able to turn on the Emeritus anytime soon, though. Let's go for the Lookout. Go for the Gulch. Yet another cottage is ginormous for us. Let's fire off this Esper Origins, set up our future draws. Yeah, I mean, this all looks really good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I guess we draw the green blade. Yeah, let's draw the green blade and leave the lookout in the deck, right? And then we can go Esper Origins to pick up the lookout, cast the green blade, ping them with the desert, trigger the lookout. Kind of stay winning on the board forever. Swings for 3. Fine. That is fine. Cast our Esper Origins. They cast their Dread Knight. 3 mana available. Keep a lookout. We can take a Gulch out of the deck. I think that's okay. It doesn't probably super matter. Play a Green Blade. 6/7, by the way. Pretty nice. Let's do ping. Grab another ping. Put them to 9. The pressure from the pings adds up quite a lot, I think. Pass it back. And now we're threatening to either take them off of blockers with Sandstorm Verge or fire up an attack with almost 2 Restless Cottages. Just 1. Bitter Triumph, paying 3 life to kill off my big boy. But we still have an Esper Moduin, a couple Restless Cottages to work with. Actually, we're going to get a little extra mana from our Esper Moduin if it survives to be able to fire up both cottages. Ritual Chamber to make a big demon. Okay. That's good, but they actually do have to come up with an answer to the Esper Moduin, though. Right? Like, I can just spend this turn going land, lookout, and activate the Sandstorm Verge for crimes, right? Just to manage their life total even further. Like, I might just hit deserts off of this. Another cottage. Blooming Marsh. And then next turn I'm threatening, like, firing up both cottages with the Esper Moduin Trample. I don't think I swing here. I think they just double block. Maybe I should have swung with the cottage, though. Yeah, I probably should have swung with the cottage. I think I could have afforded giving one up, especially after hitting an extra one. Probably a small mistake there. Maybe a big mistake. Maybe enough to steal a win from us after they get this Unholy Annex going. So let's put on stops, hold control. Let's see what our draw is first before we decide to fire up this Moduin. And we draw a Bitter Triumph is probably like best possible if I had to guess. Fire up a Restless Cottage. Oh no, they scoop. Huh. Huh. I didn't expect that. Okay. I think they were probably dead anyway. They just scooped that. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. JQRJAJRJQOIQJORIJORISJRORIS asks, you think Luis the Pompous Village Pillager is worthy sideboard for this deck with how many lands we get? What matchup is it good in? I guess is my question. Because I think on if you think about Luis and like you've cast cast it in some games, and it's looked really good in some games, right? Generically, I think it's easy to imagine like it being a generically good card in deserts, right? That it's pretty easy to justify one, but I'm not really sure what matchup it's actually good in, you know? Because if you're like surviving to a point where you can cast a big Luis and it's impactful, I think the combination of like Outcaster Greenblade plus the efficiency of Greenblade plus having like interaction tends to probably be better. I'm not really sure what matchup like Luis is good in, is kind of my thing. It's good in maybe the Golgari mid-range matchup, but maybe they just like tank the damage and kill it. I prefer Luis with the Bloodletter as a surprise finish. Yeah. Kind of double it up. I don't know. It's not very good into mono green landfall or green white landfall, and it's not very good into prowess, I think. So I think that's kind of the main problem with it. His hand's not very good. Let's go ahead and mulligan that. This is pretty good. Good-ish. Good-ish. Could use a little more early interaction. Let's keep the swamp. I think I skip on the cottage here. No. Skip on the gulch. Skip on the gulch. We'll go turn 2, cycle the armadillo, I think, and then get an untapped source. Double deadly cover up into our Izzet opponent. Luis, obviously, I mean, it's very good into like the mono red matchup, but we have enough life gain to be good into that deck anyway, I think, and we don't take damage from our lands really. Yeah, I'm not sure about Luis. I think it's easy to look at it and say like this is a card that feels like it should be good in this deck because we do get a lot of lands. I just don't know when Luis is actually that good for us. Player lookout. Keep the Bitter Triumph on top. I think it's okay. Maybe it's fine to skip on the Bitter Triumph with 2 deadly cover-ups in hand, but Flickshot Show Off. I've been thinking about it, and I think this card is kind of weirdly like one of the reasons I'm not that interested in Standard right now. I think this is just its play patterns are just way too strong compared to what all of the other decks get access to, where it's like they get a proactive turn 2 play that actually really can't be interacted with by the nature of plotting it, right? And also it's just so efficient at closing out the game. It's just so efficient at closing out the game. Especially with how good like cantrips are in these colors right now. It's kind of been a secret all-star in like all of the strongest decks in Standard for a long time now, right? Is it Steel Cutter, Prowess, the various iterations of Mono Red that have existed? I just think it's really hard to meaningfully interact with this. The floor is not that low and the ceiling's super high. Swing with 2 show-offs. Obviously, it's not... I don't know that it's, like, near bannable, in my opinion. I just think it's part of, like... It's just been so generically good in Standard for so long. Kind of like Storm Chaser's Talent, although I think the play patterns on Storm Chaser's Talent are a little more egregious, probably. I think I'm going to go for this Bitter Triumph post-combat. Keep them from, like, really punishing me for casting this, I think. We get our crime. We whiff on land from the crime. That's weird. JQR says, can't say I've won that much because of him, but the dream of sniping for 20 damage is just too dreamy. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I think it's pretty easy to fall into that sort of trap. I could just deadly cover up here. I don't know that I necessarily win that game. I don't think I'm, like, I might be dead next turn if I attack here. Maybe I just attack like this. Hold back a free strider lookout to block with. Start cutting down on their, like, access to instants and sorceries. If I take them off of a sorcery there, then they can't flow state for 2 cards right now. Roaring Furnace kills off the free strider lookout. Okay. But now I can freely deadly cover up. Burst lightning my face for a little extra damage here. But I'm getting these foods going. Am I just dead? Oh, another burst lightning. Okay. Yeah, you know, everything I said about this card, like all of the kindness and graces that I gave it, actually fuck that card. Seriously? It's the play patterns are pretty ridiculous. Maybe I should have deadly covered up. Maybe that's my mistake, right? Like, definitely, you could argue that, I guess. Bring in the cease desists. I think we want the Desert Stews. The rest can be good. Can be good. I don't know. You can cut down on their. It's pretty good on the play, probably, at the very least. Cut down on their, like, spell density. Go down the Oko. Go down the deadly cover-ups. Cut an Armadillo. I'm not sure that Bonnie's that good here. It can be. Probably don't need it, though. Maelstrom Pulse can be pretty relevant sometimes. Cut an Esper Origins. Let's just go to 2 Duresses. I don't know that I'm that in love with it. Maybe cut a Bitter Triumph in favor of a Desert Stew here. Try it like that. On the play. Okay. I mean, I could definitely just get blown out by, like, a fast prowess start, right? But these decks don't do that as often anymore. They're less all in. I think having a Ghost Vacuum in the hand plus consistent threats on 3 and 4 seems like a pretty solid way to win on the play here. Fire Bluff Canal. Let's go for the Ghost Vacuum. They might have a Spell Pierce here. No Spell Pierce. Play a Blue Source. Izzet show off play rate has to be through the roof. I think it's just like the easiest plan to pull off right now for sure, where it's just like, oh, I found myself untapped with I've untapped with 2 Slickshot show offs and I have like 3 cards in hand. Yeah, you're probably just dead. You know? Flow state from my opponent. Okay. Definitely something to be considerate of. Maybe it's best if I'm like finding myself playing this matchup consistently and at the RC to just be like remind myself if they untap with Slickshot show offs, they have enough cheap stuff to probably just kill you. Slickshot show offs plural, probably, right? That was actually in retrospect a pretty dumb play on my part. I probably should have just wiped the board, you know, saved myself the headache there. I'll keep that in mind going forward. 1 show off you can survive. 2 show offs, they probably just kill you. Roaring Furnace kills my Green Blade here. Okay. Continue to manage their graveyard, but being able to access our Green Blades... Oh, we draw another Green Blade, kind of nice. Being able to access our Green Blades in the late game with the Ghost Vacuum. Pretty nice win con for us. I think let's just keep this up. Playing our tapped lands here. I don't think we need to go for a Pylons quite yet. If they manage to like pick up the Roaring Furnace and kill off another Green Blade, they're not going to be able to beat like 2 Ghost Vacuum Green Blades eventually. Slickshot show off. Fine. Opt. Fine. Leave something on top. Hits me for 3. Okay. Take you off the opt. Let's go. Let's lead on tapped Gulch here. Continue to use our burn, quote unquote, in hand. Move to attack first, so that they're less inclined to just bounce this green blade, right? Like if I play this green blade first, I think they're pretty likely to take that bounce, but then I get to freely kill the show off, so maybe that's worth. I don't know. Hit them for 5. They take it. Play another green blade. Threaten to just kill you next turn, I guess. Let's grab the Sandstorm Verge just in case. Now we have all possible options in hand. Plays an island. Probably not dead this turn, right? Unless they have literally like 4 burst lightnings plus spell pierce, probably kills me. 16, yeah, I mean that's lethal. So I could be dead. Kind of crazy to think about. It could even be 3 burst lightnings plus cantrip plus spell pierce, probably, right? Flow state. That's a fine start for us. 2 mana spent. Bounces my green blade. Pretty good for them. Doesn't bounce their roaring furnace, though. Kind of critically. Thanks for 5. I think we just take this. They plot another show off. Okay. Well, I think we go for the Hex then. Does it matter if I do it now? It might, as far as like our mana is concerned. Let's blight for a little extra life. Keep their flow state here. Depot says, sounds like you need to play Selesnya Landfall then. I mean, the RC's next week. I don't have the cards for Selesnya Landfall. I think I'm just gonna... I have most of it, to be honest, but I'm just gonna rock this. And I'm not complaining because I, like, feel like I'm gonna go show up to the RC and get smashed. I'm just like... I just think this card's really strong. I just think this card's strong. That's all. Another green blade. Grab another ping land. Doesn't really... I mean, I'm just going to fully tap out. I'm just going to show them it's like, hey, this is what I got. Cast the Esper Origins. Keep whatever on top. Doesn't really matter. Put them to 5. Can you kill me? With only so many cards. Slickshot show off into the plot zone. 16 life. Pretty high. Probably not, though, right? Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the point, Depot, right? Like, my whole channel is founded off of playing off meta stuff. I think it would be really off-brand of me to show up with one of the most meta decks I could choose, like Selesnya Landfall, right? Even if it's generally something that... Like, I won one of my RCQs on Selesnya Landfall, Selesnya Harmonizer combo. It's more like Selesnya Wagon. It's not really like what the current iterations are looking like, but so it's kind of on brand for me to play something like that, though. But my core brand really is just playing like deserts or something dumb and off meta. So I feel like for the way I find fun in Magic and for what I would consider like a meaningful win, really, or a more meaningful win, is like going for the cool factor of winning with deserts, right? Even if I like day 2 with deserts, I think that's kind of like a huge win, you know? I think that'd be pretty crazy. So that's kind of the goal. Try to show up, have a good attitude, try to win some matches. If I happen to like do well, then try to keep the good energy going and cross my fingers that I can day 2, but who knows? Really, it's just like kind of in my mind, the other way I'm looking at it is like it's been so long since I've done anything like this, and I've never traveled out of state for a big tournament. Just to see if it's something I like, really, you know? Try to keep the pressure off of like win or lose and just try to show up. Try to focus, have a good day, have fun with it. That's basically it, you know. Goal number 1 is not win the whole damn thing. This is a pretty good hand. Keep this hand. Lead on a Restless Cottage. We also draw into untapped mana, which is kind of nice. No threats in hand, but pretty good interaction. Opponent goes for an opt. I like that we have this cease desist to manage some early instants and sorceries. I guess they'd have to cast a sorcery on their turn. Like they'd have to go sleight of hand into flow state if they want that, right? I'm gonna assume they have Spell Pierce or something like that in hand. So maybe I wait until their end step to fire this off. Really thinking about this opt. Really pondering. Taking their time with it. Storm Chaser's Talente. Okay. Makes a little rat. Boomerang Basics. Okay. Are they stuck on a land here? They're stuck on a land here. Let's go for the Cease. We'll clean up their sorcery plus opt. Huh. After all of that cantripping, they're stuck on a land here. Drawn to a Free Strider Lookout is kind of nice with a handful of deserts. I'm just going to jam this right now. I'm definitely not at risk of outright dying anytime soon. They need a red source. Storm Chaser's Talent Part 2. We have this Maelstrom Pulse in hand, though. Boomerang Basics Part 2. Okay. Did they hit a land drop? They do hit a Riverpire Verge. Third Storm Chaser's Talent play, but we can clean up all of the otters with the Maelstrom Pulse. So we're feeling pretty okay. Maelstrom Pulse stays winning. Delian Fell is our top deck too. Okay, feeling pretty good about that. Hit a Restless Cottage off of the Free Strider Lookout trigger. Clear up their otters quite nicely. Ping them with a Lush Oasis. Hit them for 3. I fear no Slickshot show off. Roaring Furnace. I think I play around Spell Pierce here. I think I'm just going to fire up my Restless Cottage this turn. Clean up their graveyard a little bit. Keep them off of a flow state being particularly good. Feel pretty good about that in retrospect. Drawn to a Withering Curse, not a bad draw. Oh, they have a Get Out to pick up their stuff. That's not bad. Not, like, fantastic, but it's not bad. Only instants in their graveyard, so Flow state not looking very good. Stock up. So they can go stock up for a land and then flow state if they just want to spend their turn basically doing nothing, but accumulating a million cards in hand. Tapped Spire Bluff Canal Storm Chaser's Talent. Okay. Ghost Vacuum is our draw. Maybe I just fire up the cottage again. Continue to manage their graveyard. Take them off the stock up and I get to play this Ghost Vacuum. Just beat them down with cottages forever. They chump with the Otter. Okay. That's really good for us. It kind of feels like that means they have, like, interaction in hand. Like, they don't have a way to, like, show off and then kill me with prowess Otter plus show off and go crazy that way. I think I'm gonna win this one? Question mark. Restless Cottage kind of stays winning here. Nice little windows to slow them down. They're pretty far from a crab, too. They could go for it this turn, but it would, like, involve tapping out. And for what? Like, maybe I just untap and kill the crab, you know? And that's their whole turn. Sleight of hand. Okay. Land. Talent. Makes another Otter. Go for the activation. You crab here. No crab. I think we go for the Restless Cottage again, right? Seems pretty good to me. Seems like they're having a pretty hard time dealing with this. They could have, like, a Burst Lightning to trade with my cottage here, but I also have this Hex. And I think I have 2 hexes, actually. Kind of okay with that. Like, if I get to actually swing with this and hex the Otter. Into the Flood Maw. Huh. I guess I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna hex the Otter and blight one. Get a little extra life cushion there. Replay the cottage. Pass. Still get to hold up this Ghost Vacuum activation. A Braid for the Ghost Vacuum. Okay, I think I have to exile the Get Out then, right? Because it's, like, really annoying if they start picking up both of their Storm Chasers talents. Sad to see the Ghost Vacuum go. Now what do you go for? You still only have instants in your graveyard, so flow state not looking fantastic. It's probably worth firing off the first one by now, though, right? Another Storm Chaser's talent. Okay. Do I hold on to the foods with the potential of, like, Delian Fell's ult being relevant that way? They have enough mana to cast a crab here. The food also is kind of relevant with the Withering Curse. Maybe I just wait on the foods. Freeze Strider Lookout. Let's go for Delian Fell. Yeah, let's roll up Delian Fell because if they have a crab, they can play crab. I can hex the Otter, and they probably can't kill Delian that way. And alternatively, it threatens like me just like doing a lethal basically on them. I think I just hold the rest of my hand this turn. This could be wrong. Maybe it's just better to draw. But I want them to play the crab so I can wither and curse it and not wither and curse my free starter lookout in the process, you know? There's the crab. Okay. In their upkeep, I'm going to hex the otter. Now, they probably can't kill Delian outside of also having like a burst lightning on it. Flow state, 1 card. We finally arrived at flow state for 1 card. They have to swing at Delian Fell here because I'm threatening extra damage off of the life gain. Okay. Surely they activate the Storm Chasers here, right? Unless they have another crab in hand. They activate the Storm Chasers here. They get back into the Flood Maw? Yeah, okay. Shocks themselves to be able to hold up into the Flood Maw. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Pass. Desert's Dew just outright kills a crab, which is really nice, actually. So let's draw. Let's go look out into Gulch, and then I think I'm going to Desert Stew the crab in their upkeep. Maybe a little greedy, but I think it's worth doing this. Trigger the lookout. Get another desert. Feeling pretty good here. Kill off the big crab. Kind of taking away all of their agency now, and they don't really have enough mana to really make use of the fact that they have these untapped. Untapped means something different in Magic. Not untapped, I mean they are untapped. These unused Storm Chasers talents. Roaring Furnace. Kills off the lookout. But they can't pressure my Delian Fell, so I'm kind of winning on card advantage here, and I have these double cottages to activate. So they do have to hold up an Into the Flood Maw. Ral. Okay. Makes an otter. I think I can afford a sack of food here, because I'm just going to be drawing cards off of Delian Fell anyway. Oh, that's a big card. Rang River Regent, huh? Draw a card, lose a life. The Meringue River Regent, huh? I hear that's a pretty good card. And we get a free draw into an Esper Origins. That's kind of nice. I think I'm just going to cast this. I can bounce the Ral, and I can bounce the Otter here. Set them back that way. And I also get to resolve a Green Blade. I think I'm going to win this one, question mark. Let's just grab a Sandstorm Verge. Free guarantee that I get to swing through blocks. Pass it to ya, sucker. Pass it to ya. I know a thing or two about outlaws in my deck. That's right, baby. all of the power in Standard comes from from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. You got Slickshot Show Off, and you got you got Outcaster Greenblade. Slickshot Show Off, Outcaster Greenblade, Free Strider Lookout. Those are the three big dogs of Standard, and they're all from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. It's crazy. They can crab to buy time, but not really, because I have double Restless Cottage to fire up. They need crab and into the flood. Like, crab buys them maybe a turn, I guess, but it's not going to be enough, I think. It's not even going to be that cheap of a crab. Okay, I guess it's going to be a pretty cheap crab. 3 mana, yeah, I guess they can crab to buy time. Depot. They can maybe crab to buy time. Make another otter. So now they can't crab to buy time. And I do just have this Withering Curse. So they can bounce my Regent. I think I've got him here. I think I can curse and fire up. I can curse and fire up a cottage. Go for the curse before we gain any life. Now they don't have to bounce my Regent to survive, but they do have to bounce something. And they scoop it up. Okay. 3-0. 3-0. Pretty good run. Ranking up. Cruising up the ranked ladder. I think I like this list. I've been cutting the armadillos quite a lot. I wonder if it's worth like seriously considering a different card in that slot. Just do that a couple times in the RC. Yeah, and cross my fingers. Maybe it's worth considering a different card. We're on 26 lands anyway. We're pretty consistently hitting our third land drop naturally. I think the life gain is kind of nice, but we already have quite a lot of life gain. It's not a very good top deck. It's okay sometimes. Withering Curse has looked kind of good. Maybe we play 2 in the main. And then maybe we play like a Winter Night Stories. Maybe we play 2 Withering Curse. I've been really impressed with the Ghost Vacuum so far. Maybe we play like a 1 of Unagi in the main. It's not very good into like the landfall matchup though, right? We could go like 1 Unagi in the main and then an extra deadly cover up in the sideboard. It's maybe not the worst idea. I kind of feel like that curve looks pretty good. I don't know. The armadillo kind of is my friend, is the thing. But I think the Unagi's more likely to win games. Game 1 than the armadillo would be, and it's more impactful in more matchups. And we already have quite a lot of life gain, which is kind of the main pro that armadillo has going for it. I don't know. Match 4, Laurentide. Hand's pretty bad. Just mulligan that. This hand's pretty good. Do I keep a land or do I keep an Unagi? I think I keep an Unagi. Because if I hit like any of my 3 drops, I'm pretty likely to hit lands. Go for a Soured Springs. Opponent leads on a basic island and passes. Could be anything. It could even be some kind of Izzet. It could be some kind of Izzet, perhaps. Hard to the bottom. Second island. Okay. Mono blue elementals, maybe? Flow state. Not a very good Maelstrom Pulse matchup. Hit you with another desert. Pass. Well, glad we kept the Unagi in retrospect. Pretty sure to look out. Pretty likely to get countered. But I think I just go for it, right? The upside of this, like, not getting countered is pretty high. 3 steps ahead. Fine. Better they 3 steps ahead that than my Unagi flow state. Really, really riveting game of Magic the Gathering we have on our hands. Hey, another Freeze Try to look out. Let's see if this one resolves. No? Okay. Hit you with another desert. Pass it back. Eluge, the Shoreless Sea. I think I'm going to try to kill this. They get to Sleight of Hand for free, and then they get to hold up a 2-mana piece of interaction for free on my turn. So let's go Conduit Pylons. Try to Maelstrom Pulse this guy. Skip on a Withering Curse. They have a bounce off to pick up the Eluge. That's fine. They have an Eluge. They have a flow state. Okay. Well, Duress is in the sideboard looking kind of good here. Do I go for the Unagi right now? I don't think it super matters. I guess I just pass. I get hit for 6. I'm almost certainly dead. I mean, I'm going to go for the Unagi here in the face of the Winter Night Stories. If they counter this, I'll scoop. They do counter this. Okay. I'm convinced. Cut all the hexes. Bring in the Duresses. Bring in the Disdainful Stroke. Bring in the Surax. Bring in threats, basically, is what we need. Just overwhelm them with threats. Cut the Requiting Hexes. I think I like the Ghost Vacuums here. Cut the Regent. Actually, the instant speed, like, stuff going on there is pretty relevant, I think. I like the Ceases. Because they're also playing, like, Eddie Merc Crabs and Sunderflocks, right? That's kind of the whole shtick. Deadly Cover-Up's a little awkward, but also it can be kind of good. Because they're so threat light that if I do manage to take them off of, say, one of, like, if I take them off of Eddie Merc Crabs, for example, it makes Sunderflock look a lot worse in general too. I think Maelstrom Pulse is pretty bad. I think Esper Origins is kind of bad here. Maybe we don't care about Cease that much. Maybe Bonnie's a little wishful thinking. Try it like that. Okay, I like the guaranteed turn 3 Surak here. I think that's a pretty good reason to keep this hand. No black mana, but no black cards. We do have black mana in the form of Conduit Pylons eventually. I could just, like, do a Filtry Duress here. That's probably worthwhile. How likely are they to have Spell Pierce in their deck against us? I'm not really sure. Would they even Spell Pierce this Duress? Who knows? Get some good info. They kept a 1-lander? Dude, I'm taking your opt every day. Get out of here. Sleight of Hand. They hit their second land, but still, I mean, they're kind of in scramble mode, right? and I just get to resolve something. I just get to resolve something. I'm gonna resolve this Free Strider Lookout. It's kind of nuts. Like, having actual, like, enough mana to double spell against them is really crazy. They do have a bounce off. That's fine. They spent the bounce off. So now I just get to Surrak them. Because they fell into the trap of holding up mana. Bellion, the Parched. Flow state. Okay. Bellion is land now. But interestingly enough, not an island. Hit you for 4. Let's go for the Lookout again. Do a crime. Find a desert. Ping ya. Down to 13. Untapping with a Bellion. I'm not feeling threatened by this, but the Thunderflock is looming. Winter Night Stories. Fine. Discards another Winter Night Stories and a 3 steps ahead. 3 mana available. Are they at crab mana? They're certainly at crab mana. But I get to draw cards if they crab me, right? Let's not fire up the Cottage, especially after drawing a second Green Blade here. Let's just go to attack. Hit them down to a cool 6. Go for a Green Blade. If they counter this, I do get to draw. Okay. I draw Duress? Duress is kind of nice. I'm not going to go for it this turn. I am going to get a ping land. Be able to do more crime. Continue to open up my mana for this Restless Cottage activation in the future. Put them to 4. I mean, they can't gain life, is kind of the other thing here for us. So eventually my deserts will kill them if we just kind of keep doing this. Like, if they bounce my Green Blade, I just get to find another ping land. Right? I think this is adequately annoying for them. What they have to find is, like, Island plus Eddy Mert Crab to be able to cast their Thunderflock. But, yeah, even that's not, like, that good now. Kind of weird. That turned out kind of weird for them. Maybe we do want the Ceases over the Esper Origins in general. Esper Origins being an elemental is kind of nice, but it's a little slow. It's not that good at killing them. Feel pretty good about that. Maybe we want, like, the first Requiting Hex over a D-Stroke. I guess we can go down a land on the draw, right? I think the D-Strokes are okay. They hit the crabs, they hit the LU, they hit all their, it hits all their threats. Like, all the ways that they actually win the game. It's an interesting hand. It's an interesting hand. It's certainly full of uncounterable cards, which is kind of nice. Go ahead and mulligan that. It's pretty good. Put back a Lush Oasis, right? Double black, green, so on and so forth. Turn 1 Blooming Marsh into Duress. I think that's okay. Bunch of bullshit. I guess I take the one of the 1-drop cantrips, right? Because it makes their, like, next turn kind of awkward. They have to hit land drops. So I take the Sleight of Hand. Then this either forces them to, like, consult on 2. Or just be able to cantrip once here. Maybe they hit a second cantrip off of this first cantrip. I think that makes sense to me. Draw into our 1 Requiting Hex. Go for a cottage. Oh, they hit a second cantrip. Okay, well. Fine. To the bottom with you. Island, sleight of hand. Best draw right now is maybe... Ooh, Flow State's kind of huge for them. Flow State's like a really good card for this deck. An actual way to get some momentum going. Some advantage. Garner some advantage. Bitter Triumph is not a bad draw, though. Do they just jam the Eluge? I think jamming the Eluge is probably a mistake for them. Duress is not bad for us. Not great, but it's not bad. I mean, I for sure take the Consult the Star Charts here, right? Like, what are we doing? Why didn't they just rip the Consult the Star Charts? That's crazy. They definitely should have just cast it in response, I think. Grab 2 lands. They're not going to cast the Eluge this turn. Interesting. They're digging for protection for Eluge because it's so critical for the rest of their hand to play out, I guess. We have the Unagi in hand, but we don't have a second blue source currently. On a Molda 6, I think just them being... the nature of them being up a card, basically, from the get-go is probably going to seal the deal for us. Another Winter Night Stories. We could catch them with a pretty sneaky Deadly Cover-Up, though, if they end up with a handful of just, like, crabs and Sunderflocks, you know what I mean? Island in the graveyard. Could take all of the islands out of their deck if we manage to get going with that. Well, I guess we'll go for the Delian Fell. Not much to do here. Tap out for the Delian Fell. Cast the 3 steps ahead. Fair enough. They get to Eluge plus Winter Night Stories. Not really much I could have done about that. They don't Winter Night Stories. Surely you Winter Night Stories. They do Winter Night Stories. I think I'm gonna lose this one. And I'm really, to be honest, I'm largely losing when it comes to the Battle of Mental Fortitude, because I honestly I could not care to play another minute of this matchup. I just don't care. This is just not particularly interesting Magic. Take them off of the Winter Night Stories. Can I take them off of Flow State? No shot, bucko. Trying to hit a land drop. We hit a land drop. Okay, that's a good start. We also have evidence for Deadly Cover-Up. Eddie Merc Crab. Let's try to kill the Eluge here. That goes through, so they don't have any 1-mana instants in hand. Crab on the field, Agna Kella, Flow State, ripping the Flow States. Swings for 5. Got to assume they have some kind of counter magic in hand by now, right? Legend of Karuk is pretty good, so maybe not. They're tapping out for Legend of Karuk. A nice way to get something proactive on the field that doesn't die to this Deadly Cover-Up for them. But I think I might get to Deadly Cover-Up unless they have Spell Pierce in hand. Just cross our fingers they don't have Spell Pierce. So we get to take them off of the Eddie Merc Crabs, which is priority number 1, I believe. Get to peep their library. As far as counter magic goes, they only have the 3 steps ahead. That's kind of good to know. Crab in hand. You get to take them off of Aetherize. Very threat light. Just the 2 Legend of Karuks to contend with. Sunderflocks, 2 more Eluges. Scry to draw. 8 mana. Flow State. The problem is that the only 2 good... They actually are very light on, like, good cards against us right now. They have Legend of Karuk and 3 Steps Ahead are like the main things that I'm really concerned about. Everything else I think we can beat eventually. Conduit Pylons for a little Surveil. Skip on a land. I think I'm just going to go for Surak this turn. Hold up the Bitter Triumph / Hex, and then maybe I Hex the Bellion in their upkeep for the Karuk flips. And then eventually, maybe, hopefully I get to resolve this Unagi. I guess what they get to do here is they get to like tap out, cast Sunderflock for 9, and pick up their Legend of Karuk, which is kind of nice for them as far as like winning the card advantage game goes. They might just bounce off their Bellion. Okay. That's fine. What up, Munella1? Appreciate you stopping by, brother. I was getting lonely without you, Munella1. You're my gold star pupil. Who else would appear to harass me in my own chat? It's kind of it's there's a certain kind of loneliness without you here. I gotta say. Eluse, the Shoreless Sea. On the stack, Avatar Karuk. Do I kill the Avatar here? Or do I kill Eluse? I think I have to kill the Avatar here, right? Or at least try to. I could counter this or pick up the Avatar with a bounce off or something. They go for the 3 Steps Ahead. Well, they only have 1 left in the deck. Critically, they only have 1 left in the deck. They also get 2 instant. They get some amount of mana available here. But not enough to cast a third 3 Steps Ahead, but enough to cast a bounce off. I think I'm just kind of dead. Because they get to go for the Sunderflock. Hit me with the Eluse. I guess if they play the Sunderflock, they have to pick up their spirits. Maybe I go for a Green Blade. I don't really know, to be honest. I think I'm probably just dead to this big ass Eluse. You had it too easy, says Munella1. Well, maybe so. Maybe so. Alright. I've seen enough. Not that interested in this. Not that interested in this. Move on to the next one. I think if we had an early Ghost Vacuum in that matchup, probably a pretty big difference maker for us, but without it, I think they just have too much easy access to what they're trying to do. I have about 50 minutes left in the stream. I think I'm just gonna keep this rolling. Continue to work on this list, hammer out some kinks. Maybe a third Ghost Vacuum for the side, just because it's just so good in the matchups where it's good. Or maybe an Ooze in the side, or 1 Ooze in the main, 1 Ghost Vacuum main, and then 1 extra Ghost Vacuum in the side. The problem is, really, truthfully, is I only own 1 Ghost Vacuum currently, and I'm planning on buying a second tonight, but I don't think I can get a third in time for the RC. So even if I wanted to run 3... Munella1 asks, did you already 5-0 the weekly standard event as expected? No standard event this week. I've just been playing ranked matches on the ladder. Just trying to run into some more serious meta decks in testing preparation for upcoming RC, just to get some reps in with this list. This is probably what I'm going to be playing at RC Cincinnati, so... and by probably I mean like 99.999%. If I can't really imagine something coming up that would make me change my mind at this point, but who knows? I think we skip on a Conduit Pylons here. And you know, when I do those traditional events, I always run into someone playing some dinky do nothing deck, so that doesn't really happen on the ladder, you know. Clifftop Lookout for my opponent. Draw into another Blooming Marsh. Okay. I have a lookout of my own. The Lookout Mirror. Lookout. Petrified Hamlet. Do they wisely name Restless Cottage? Are they that keyed in? Clifftop Lookout for my opponent, huh? Bossing say. Does that mean this is an Ugin deck? Professor Delian fell. Surely you just kill my lookout, right? Kills my lookout. Swings in for 1. Draw into a Lush Oasis. Let's go for the Maelstrom Pulse this turn. They get a nice little 2-for-1. Ping them with the Springs. I always assume Ugin when I see any... Yeah, it's just some kind of Planeswalker soup matchup. Okay. If I lose to this, whatever. Who cares? Not real data. Guess we'll pulse this Liliana. Go for the Blooming Marsh this turn. Moonella1 says, what if Bright Glass Gearhulk spoke to you in a dream about some secret tech to include? Now you're speaking my language. I have been thinking lately, like, I haven't really been playing too many Bright Glass Gearhulk lists as of late. And it's fun to see that it's, like, doing stuff in the meta right now. But at the same time, it's in the hands of Badgermole Cub plus Ouroborroid, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Well, the Fountain Port is actually pretty annoying regarding this Withering Curse. I mean, I think I'd just go for it anyway. But they do get a redraw off of this zombie. I'm trying to bait out their Ugin, but maybe they're smart enough to slow roll it. I think I want the Lookout. It's a real card. Let's just play the Lush Oasis here. So I can go Origins plus Bitter Triumph next turn if I want to. Swinging in with the Cottage, and they have a Fountain Port to sack the Clue every turn. Kind of... Oh, and they exile my... And they exile my Esper Origins. Yes, of course. Pretty good turn cycle for them. Let's go for the Delian Fell. Let's go for a redraw. We can hold up the Bitter Triumph for the Restless Cottage, if that's what it comes to. I'm going to hold on to this Lush Oasis for a guaranteed trigger on my lookout. Maybe I hit a Restless Cottage of my own. Fountain Port to sack the food. Some people merely adopted the Gearhulk. You were molded by it. I didn't see the... something Badgermole Cub until I was already a man or something. I don't know. Yeah, it does kind of feel like part of my maybe hipster tendencies are like, well, if Gearhulk's meta, maybe I don't want any part of that anymore. That's not true. It's just like, if I'm seeing people that are like, oh, that's like an actually really strong Gearhulk list, and someone else came up with it, I don't know. Maybe I'm good. Maybe I'm cool on that for now. I just want to come up with my own things, you know? I understand that, like, you're more likely to come up with something strong if you collaborate, right? You know, it's like one person's ideas tend to have gaps. It's just much harder for one person to stumble into, like, the strongest thing, right? Fountain Port to make a fish. No Ugin yet. I feel like they would have casted it if they had it by now. Sacks the fish. Interesting. At this point, Emeritus of Abundance looks really good. Withering Curse. Cool. Kills off my lookout. I mean, this combo is really cool. The Withering Curse plus Cornucopia. I don't like it with the elves, though. I feel like if you're playing board wipes, you don't want to really be on like things like Llanowar Elves. in some capacity. I don't know. Esper Origins, pretty good top deck. Skip on that garbage. Ghost Vacuum is a really nice draw. And I think I also want the Deadly Cover-Up. Just in case. Ghost Vacuum is kind of a ginormous draw for us. Helps us fade the Emeritus of Abundance. I think I'm going to continue to hold on to the Lush Oasis. And I have some goodies in my graveyard here. Petrified Hamlet. Oh, if they name Restless Cottage, oh, great. Then they turn off their own Restless Cottage? Okay, good. Perfect. Perfect. Fine by me. Deadly Cover-Up. Is there anything I need to respond to this with by exiling out of my own graveyard? Like maybe I take all of the Delian Fells out of my... If I exile my Delian Fell here, it keeps them from being able to take me off of my second one. I think that's probably worth considering as an option here. It's probably what they would go for, right? As far as, like, taking me off of a specific card. Are they taking me off of Esper Origins? They can't do that, right? It's Free Strider Lookout. Okay, that's fine. I guess I opened up a window for them to pay off their Emeritus of Abundance, if that's what they have. Hits me with the Cottage. They know my hand now. Fine. Drawn to a Requiting Hex. Could be worse. Pass it back. The Free Starter Lookout of their own. We've got a Pimp Daddy on our hands, Romulus Prime. Let's fucking go, dude. Maelstrom Pulse on my Ghost Vacuum. Get out of here. I'll take you off of the Liliana, I guess. Depot says, wish they added gifting in Arena. Would be fun to do a best of 5 and put gems on it. Ooh, okay, yeah. It would be fun. Little gambling. Munella1 says, IMO, it takes more people to refine something, but being brave enough to explore an avenue without a definitive payoff is a solitary endeavor. And a noble endeavor, I would add. Drawn to an Oko the Ringleader is probably a really good top deck for us right here. I've kind of committed to making an elk here, I think. I think I like that. Make an elk, and then next turn I could think about going for card advantage. Hold on to the Lush Oasis as a way to guarantee a crime. Maybe I'm supposed to Bitter Triumph this Lookout right now. Actually, I have the elk to block the Lookout, right? Maybe I don't care about that much. I'm still in this. Maybe not if they cast an Ugin right here, but for now I'm kind of in this. With the Oko top deck. Back to me. Okay. Outcaster Greenblade. Let's do crime. Let's activate the Oko. I very rarely +1 the Oko, but it is pretty good sometimes. Gain some card advantage here. Play the Greenblade. Pretty big Greenblade for us. Grab another land with which we can do crimes. Copy the Greenblade with Oko. Swing with our big 8/9 Oko. Out of kind of the blue. Pretty nice way to close out a game in this kind of matchup. Hexproof, which is nice. There's a Requiting Hex for them to do crimes with. That's fine. Oko, think of Oko as like, what if you had a nice proactive like value creature that dodged board wipes is kind of the idea for me, right? It's like not very good into aggressive decks generally, but it's very good into this kind of matchup for sure. Makes a fish. Esper Origins of their own. Pimp Daddy Romulus Prime, bringing the spice to the table. Hell yeah, brother. Esper Origins, part D. Big digging. Skipping on a Withering Curse. Okay. Reveals a free star to look out. Hell yeah. Okay, they must be doing like this must be something similar to that like Ice Till Explorer list that popped up in those leagues. Oko is Kaito at home. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it. Yeah. Oko is Kaito at home. Yeah, I agree with that, Manello. Pretty much, yep. I think I agree with that. I think it's better than Kaito if you're just like casting it for 4 mana, but the ninjutsu obviously is very strong from Kaito. Bitter Triumph on my poor Oko. RIP in peace. Miss you forever. Another lookout. Back to me. So do we hex the Esper I think so. Hex the Esper Do I go for the Bitter Triumph here? I just swing for 9, right? If they just want to chump this, I think I'm okay with that. Sure. I don't think I'm ready to give up my Bitter Triumph quite yet. Maybe I just pass here. Like, if they have a board wipe... No, I guess I can't pass if they have the Fountain Port, right? Fountain Port's kind of a problem. Unagi of Kyoshi Island, but also a Restless Cottage. Have I played a land this turn? I'm pretty sure I've played a land. Yeah, I played this Sandstorm Verge. Okay. I was going to say we could get cute. Oh no, if I'm going to cast the Esper Origins, I guess I don't have to reveal the Unagi. Let's take the Restless Cottage. I don't need to reveal the Unagi, right? Restless Cottage is a pretty good hit. We have an Unagi on the top of our deck. Depot says, I'm not seeing much Dimir mid-range lately. Huh, yeah. That's kind of a good point. I feel like I haven't been playing that much Magic lately, but it hasn't really popped up too much, huh? They hit a Deadly Cover-Up. Pretty good. The shuffling my deck bit is going to be a little annoying as far as managing my Unagi goes. So now we're once again in the bad top deck mode. Takes me off of my Outcaster Green Blades. It's a little annoying. But I still have other ways to win. Draw a land, play a cottage, pass it back. They're probably just going to win off the back of this Fountain Port. That's kind of the difference between how things have shaken out here. Seems kind of good. They're just going to kill me with a fish army. I think I would, yeah, if I were them, I would just start hitting me with fish. They sack the fish. Just like make a, oh, no, they make another fish. Okay, cool. Yeah, this makes sense to me. Just make a fish army, dude. $22 cards left in my deck. Best draw is probably like, I don't know, Coil and Catch, Murring River Regent. Reveals a Badgermole Cub. Who cares? It's Old Hat. Actually, maybe a Deadly Cover-Up for me now would be really good. Esper Origins. Okay. Not bad. Oh, you called it, Munello. You called it, baby. Let's skip on this stuff. We can do better. I will take a Ghost Vacuum. I don't think I care about the Requiting Hex. Although it keeps them off of the Anthem mode. Maybe I do. Maybe there's enough, like, because they have the Esper in with the Animators. I'd rather use the Requiting Hex anyway. The Hex my Esper in. Fair enough. You can have the Mortuary back. I have bigger things to worry about. Like them top decking in an Emeritus of Abundance, right? They top deck a Forest, huge. The Fish Army plan, perhaps not going to come to fruition here. Fire up the Restless Cottage. Well, this I'm going to Bitter Triumph. Keep them off of food to sacrifice. Munella1 says, oh, the stream seems to have died. Never mind. Okay, great. Make a fish. Yeah, the Fish Army still might just kill me, though. They get to hit me for a pretty cool 8 here, which is kind of a problem. Fire up the Ghost Vacuum. There's nothing really good to exile. Just take your Llanowar Elves, I guess. I guess I get to, like, gain a little life by firing up the cottage to block with. So on their upkeep, set an upkeep stop. On their upkeep, activate my cottage. Requiting Hex the Esper Blight. For a bit of life. Pass. Professor Delian fell. Ah! Ah! Gets to kill my Restless Cottage at sorcery speed. Ooh! Is this the first time this has ever happened? Delian fell killing a manland? World's first? I just got the achievement for World's first? Hits me for a cool 5. Yuck. I don't think... Okay, there's another Llanowar Elves in the graveyard. Deadly Cover-Up. Interesting. Go for something like that. That's what I got. They draw a card. These elves. Do we take them off of Restless Cottage here? I think so. They have a Lily on it. Okay, well, at the very least, we get to look at their deck list. Double Ugin. Yeah, it is just Planeswalker Soup, huh? Wow, they have some crazy top decks left. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm just going to scoop it up. I'm going to scoop it up, I'm going to sideboard, and I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick. Bring in all of this stuff. Take out all of this stuff. It's all good. The thing is, it's all good. Take out a Sandstorm Verge. 25 lands, sure. The thing is, it's all kind of good. Huh. 63 card special? Maybe Deceit is not that good. Oh, that's kind of generally pretty good. Actually, Cease is not that good against what their list actually is, which is just Planeswalker Soup, right? It hits the cornucopias, but who cares? I don't know. Maybe a Ghost Vacuum? Try it like that. BRB. On the play. Ooh, it's okay. It's good enough. Vanilla one says Cease over Ghost Vacuum, maybe. I think Ghost Vacuum, like, working really nicely with the Free Strider Lookout and being kind of like a nice top end sort of threat in its own way. They're both probably pretty comparable, I guess, but Ghost Vacuum, like, they eventually do have to deal with the Ghost Vacuum, right? We hit our blue source. I guess we play an island. Doesn't really matter. Kind of a nice smooth hand for us here. Land our elves. Let's just go for the Lookout. They can Delian Fell this with the Llanowar Elves, which is a little annoying. Maybe I'm supposed to just hold up Disdainful Stroke there. Yeah, maybe I'm just supposed to hold up Disdainful Stroke. That was probably a mistake. Fortunately, I don't get punished. And instead, I get to punish them? Let's freaking go. Land on top. Sure. Depot says you could run a Mathemagics as a win con in sideboard since you ramp a bit. Which matchup does that improve? Like this specifically, probably it improves this matchup specifically, but I don't think this is a bad matchup for us, to be honest with you. I'm gonna hit you for 3. I think we're pretty threat heavy against this matchup. And this is not that, like, you can only be good against so many decks, you know what I mean? You can only be good against so many decks, and I think oh, they have the ooze, nice. To be able to kill off Delian Fell. I think they messed up here. They probably should have just made a mutagen and killed my Fell with the Llanowar Elves, right? Instead they spent a Maelstrom Pulse. That was a little weird. Maybe. But also the other thing is I don't own Mathemagics, and I'm trying to build this, like... That's a good point. It is just a 4-mana draw. 6-mana draw 4. But I don't own it. And I'm just trying to, like, play cards I own because this is intended to be prepped for and my upcoming RC, right? So we get a free Esper Origins off of this Surveil, which is kind of nuts for us. Question is it better to hold up Disdainful Stroke or rip this Esper Origins? It's probably rip the Esper Origins because they have this ooze. I think I'll take a second Disdainful Stroke. The ooze. Yeah, Mathemagic seems okay, I guess. In this kind of matchup specifically, it seems pretty good. There's the Deadly Cover-Up. That's fine. They get to peep my hand, take me off of the lookouts. Conduit pylons. I think I'm just coiling and catching. I could also just hit them for 4. Hit them for 4 is really not that bad. Do I also get to hold up Disdainful Stroke if I hit them for 4? Yeah. Oh wait, Petrified Hamlet is on Restless Cottage. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. I'll just pass then. I got them to turn off their own Restless Cottage. Let's go. I mean, I'm definitely just going to coil and catch, but I think I'd rather just do it on their turn. Makes a mutagen. See, I really like a one of ooze in this kind of deck list too, especially if you're on like Mana Dorks and Badgermole Cub and stuff. The ooze plus Badgermole Cub is kind of gross because it's like, Badgermole Cub makes a hasty 1/1, kind of, right? And so if you have like a lot of extra mana to work with in the late game, it kind of makes like it makes Badgermole Cub much more relevant late game. The same way that like the haste is relevant on your Badgermole Cub, like Earthbent lanes with Ouroboros sometimes. Earthbends the Mortuary. It's time to coil and catch. Hit another Ghost Vacuum. Then discard a Swamp here, I guess. So I can just use Ghost Vacuum to deny their ooze for the rest of forever, which is kind of funny. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have enough mana to Green Blade and double cast Esper Origins. I think that's it. I'm not holding up Disdainful Stroke if I do that though. Maybe it's better to hold up Disdainful Stroke. So I could just go like double Esper Origins here. That's probably better than Green Blade. Skip on some garbage. Ghost Vacuum to deny any more cover-ups seems key, maybe. Maybe. They only have the one deadly cover-up in the graveyard right now, so they are pretty far away from being able to... Ooh, Nagi of Kyoshi Island on top. They're pretty far from being able to actually collect evidence. They only have 2 cards in hand. But I think I like this line because it does let me hold up the Disdainful Stroke and cast the Ghost Vacuum, so feeling pretty good about this position. Could deny their mutagen token here. Maybe it just doesn't matter that much. More important to hold up the Ghost Vacuum activation for like an Emeritus maybe. Although we didn't see the Emeritus in their main board. Mutagen on the Badgermole Cub. That's fine, but they're not going to be able to race me with this. My Green Blades are just so much bigger. Swings in for 5. I guess I'll just take this opportunity to eat the deadly cover-up. The Unagi. Cast a Green Blade. I think I'm going to hold up second Green Blade. Actually, I don't really have to, right? I could double Green Blade here and have deadly cover-up mana. Or have enough mana to also Disdainful Stroke a deadly cover-up, rather. Actually, I can double Disdainful Stroke. I'm pretty sure I'm like just beating their ass down pretty hard here. I guess, okay, so they could have Withering Curse is maybe the reason to not play out the second Green Blade. Go ahead and exile their Mortuary here. Keep them off of that. And I just get to hold up the Unagi anyway. So let's just hold up everything here and pass. Fountain Port with the ooze, pretty fun. Sacks a mutagen, a desperate man's maneuver. Gotta say, Romulus Prime. Looking very desperate here. Free Strider Lookout. Gains a life. I could have played the Unagi in response to draw a card. I don't think it's gonna matter. Response to them sacrificing the mutagen, right? Activates the ooze, does crime. Less than 12 minutes remaining on my clock? Whoa, I'm usually the faster player. Crazy. I would say in like 90% of my games, 95%, I should have fired up the Restless Cottage. They always get me with this on Arena, like not being attentive of my... Oh, I can't fire it up anyway. Petrified Hamlet, classic. I can go Green Blade and find my Sandstorm Verge to keep their Badgermole Cub from blocking here. Wait, did I cut it from my deck? Wait, did I cut it from... Oh, I cut it from my deck. Crazy, man. Apparently I am just not keyed into what's going on here at all. Hit them with a Festering Gulch. Increase the PT of my Outcaster Green Blade. Hamlet avoiding embarrassing moments. Thumbs up to that. Let's block with the Lookout here. Or sorry, kill the Lookout here. Deny them extra mutagen tokens, I guess. Put them to 2. I mean, they're just dead to, like, deserts, right? Deserts doing desert things. I guess they have a Cornucopia to gain a little extra life. They're also, I mean, they have to contend with the Green Blade, right? Professor Delian Fell. Oh, Disdainful Stroke this. Finally, Disdainful Stroke's coming into play here. Gain a couple life. They can't make a fish, but they can redraw. They do just redraw. I mean, they're just dead then, right? We get to see game 3. Okay, we get to see game 3. We get to see game 3. Sandstorm Verge, my beloved. How could I do this to you? I still think it's probably fine to leave it out. But, sad to see it go. I think I do want the 2 Ghost Vacuums, probably. Can I cut another land on the draw? 24? Sure. Try it like that. Maybe make an argument for the Cease because it cycles. I don't know. I think Ghost Vacuum's pretty good, though. I think Ghost Vacuum's pretty good. I think I'm going to call it after this match, by the way. 4:45. We don't really have time for another one. Eat some dinner, get ready for F&M. It's been fun, though. Thanks for hanging out, for everyone that's been hanging out here. Appreciate y'all chilling. Into the final match, final game. For all the marbles here, I think this will seal like a 4-1 record if we win this. Been some grindy ass games. I think we've only played like 5 matches over the course of 3 hours. Isn't that crazy? That's like true blue magic right there. I think I keep this. It's lands and spells. I think lands and spells is pretty good into this matchup. Intimidation tactics, probably gonna take my Surak here. Draw an Outcaster Green Blade, pretty good hit. Draw another Outcaster Greenblade. Pretty good hit. I mean, if I just play a stream of Outcaster Greenblades, it's going to be pretty tough for my opponent to beat that. Llanowar Elves. Well, hello there, Mr. Outcaster Greenblade. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Esper Origins, okay. Ooh, baby. Triple Outcaster Greenblade. Can I interest you in a fourth? Forest. I'll take it. Go for the Greenblade. 3/4, by the way. Grab this guy. Do a ping on ya. We've yet to see them cast an Ugin, interestingly enough. 2 more Greenblades in hand. Oops, all Greenblades. They come in packs. Esper Origins. I have a feeling they have an Ugin in hand right now. So I think I'm gonna cast this Oko next turn. Makes their Ugin a little awkward. Although, yeah, I think the Oko's right. Like, if they Ugin and kill my Greenblade, I still get to block with the Elk, and then kill the Ugin with a Bitter Triumph, and still have an Oko around. Unless they get to go, like... Do they get to, like, cast Ugin, 2 mana, cast Ugin, or sorry, cast the Cub, and then cast Ugin? No, I don't think they can kill my Oko. If that's what I go for here. Just do this. Would be a shame if they all got exiled by Deadly Cover-Up, says Munello. No. Why you gotta put curses on me like that? Bitter Triumph on the Oko. Okay. We get our own little 2-for-1. Yeah, they definitely could have a board wipe in hand by now. If their Esper Modwind pops here, though, it's not that scary. I think I just cast another Greenblade, right? Board wipes be damned. Let's grab a Conduit Pylons for the Surveil here. Another Bitter Triumph. I already have 2 in hand. We skip on that. Hit you with the Greenblade. Pass it back. Maelstrom Pulse my Greenblade. Do I just Bitter Triumph this Greenblade in response? I'm getting 2-for-1 either way. It's just I now have a choice between Bitter Triumph or Greenblade. I think having a Greenblade in this position is pretty good, right? Munello says they probably don't have a board wipe, otherwise they wouldn't have taken the Greenblade before, I think. Didn't they have... You mean with the intimidation tactics? Delian fell, kills off my Greenblade. I draw a Free Strider Lookout. I mean, I guess I'm just killing Delian here, right? Just Bitter Triumph the Delian. I guess I could Bitter Triumph the Cub and attack the Delian, but that loses to Requiting Hex as their last card. Hmm. Pass it to you. Hold on to the Soured Springs here. Bonnie Paul in hand, gonna be doing some work, I think. They're committing to the board, so even if they do have to wipe the board, we're going to like end in somewhat of a parity situation where my Restless Cottages get to be pretty good, I think. They skipped on a Restless Cottage here, okay. Another Free Strider lookout. Well, let's just go for the Bonnie Paul. Let's play the Sour Springs here, I guess. Let's take a Surveil. Surveil into a free Esper Origins. You love to frickin' see it, dude. You love to frickin' see it. The rest me, ha ha ha. I laugh. Delian fell off the Tizop. I have a feeling that's going to be all she wrote. Do I just fire up the cottage here? Start swinging? Exile your Delian fell, I guess. I think it super matters what I choose. Hit you with a ping. Draw into a Meringue River region. Okay. Surveil into the Esper 2 games in a row, outscaled. True, true. But to be fair, we have 4 in our deck. You know? It's not that unlikely. I think I get to roll up Delian Fell here. Land is their last card. Desert stays winning. Hits me for 2. Outcaster Greenblade stronger than Badgermole Cup confirmed. Why play that $50 piece of shit when you can sleeve up a full playset for under under 50 pesos? So, great run, pretty good run. I mean, we lost to, what did we lose to? Our one match loss was to the what did, oh, the mono blue elementals, mono blue spelementals. Yeah, well, I don't really expect to run into that list, but I could at the RC. I mean, anything's possible. Fun series of matches there. Time to get some stuff to make dinner. Good luck at the RC. Appreciate you. All right, well, thanks folks. Thanks for hanging out. I'm gonna keep doing these streams. Next stream, typically I stream on Fridays, but I'm gonna be officially on the road for the RC next Friday, so I think I'm gonna shoot to stream on Thursday. If you happen to, if you can make it out for that, great. If you can't, no big deal. You'll be able to catch the VOD. It'll be kind of like a normal video, right? If no one's out, I'll just be recording and continuing to iterate on deserts probably, for some extra prep for the RC. So appreciate y'all hanging out. Hope you have a beautiful day, beautiful week, beautiful weekend. Enjoy the weather. And I'll catch you on the next one. And let me know how you did at FNM. If you're not in the Discord yet and you want to share an FNM report, hop on in. Love to read some spice, the spice that people are getting up to. So that's